Hi everyone. I was just starting a recording and the phone dropped. But this might be a shorter one. So one of the things I would recommend in your road to recovery is to think about what is causing the relapses. So there's an acronym you can use to help trigger the thought in your mind that you might be triggered. And that acronym, and there's variations of it, but the one that I recall is called B.L.A.S.T. It stands for bored, late, alone, stressed, or tired. And if you'll recall from my last video, I was tired. I also was alone. Wasn't so much bored. I get into the NBA playoffs and was just so tired, and I was alone that I was wanting to medicate, not watch like pre-game show of the playoffs. And so I'm like, oh, let's get me going. And that's what led to mine. And so as you're going throughout your day, first of all, you should be planning your day, but as you go out through your day and you're checking in with yourself, if you're frustrated about continuing to act out, you have to think of reasons why you're doing it. And it takes some practice. And if you don't have a way to reach out to somebody to help you identify these trigger points, then I would recommend writing in your journal. It's not like a diary where it's got to be this secret thing, but writing it down, just really anything in your life, will help you realize what's on your mind and what's bothering you. And if you can, check in with yourself if you don't have someone to talk with, but you can check in with yourself and go over the things that are bothering you. So physically, emotionally, spiritually, and how's your intimacy. And then with that, you should pretty well be able to identify why you're wanting to act out in that moment. And then with that, I realized for me, another financial trigger is another thing, that thinking about finances, being stressed with finances is part of my problem. And so I check in on that and I try and identify ways to improve any of those areas. And if there's not, then simply identifying them provides some sanity to me. And I go, oh, no wonder I was like wanting to act out. I was so tired. And then it just dawns on you. And then sometimes you can just be okay with the symptoms that you're going through. So with bored, one thing I noticed that's helped me in recovery is just knowing that I'm bored, that in the past I've gone and gotten a second job because maybe I'm financially stressed, but I worked my full-time job, and this is before I was married and have kids, but even still I do side hustle stuff like flipping houses and family businesses. And just recently we started Airbnb-ing one of our rental units that we just bought. And so it's like, oh, well, maybe I can do more with that. And so like, what are the times and how long of time is it that you're going through just being bored? And so if you can figure out what's causing your boredom, if it's just a little blip, then great. You can pick up a book, you can go for a walk like I'm doing, You can watch a movie or a show, a favorite episode of a comedy. These are all things that you can do to help cure your boredom. And if you can find a hobby that you like to do, and you can do it with somebody else so that you knock out the third letter in B.L.A.S.T of being alone, then that will give you more connection. And so, honestly, I'm kind of hoping this YouTube vlog of how to stay sober is a way for me to connect with people, give other people hope, kind of be of service. So yeah, that's what I've done when I've been bored and realized, oh man, I've just got too much free time. And so let me figure out something else to do. You don't have to go get a second job or start a business. You can just serve others or try and spend more time with friends and family and just invite yourself over. And if not, invite others over. I know as a kid, that was one lesson my parents taught me was like, hey, when you're wanting to have a party with some of your best friends, make sure you invite people in your outer circle of friends, because you never know what might happen. You might become friends with those people, and then of course with that friendship they'll invite you to things, and just obviously in your inner circle it makes it fun to have new blood. But then when you see those other people that are on your fringe, it's just more friendly. So I would recommend reaching out to people if you're bored. So yeah, let's see. I think late is pretty self-evident if that's a trigger for you. Try and wake up earlier. I know that's not always feasible for people when they have kids or they work in a night shift. But waking up earlier, having a consistent schedule, that's going to help you go to bed earlier. One thing my wife has done with some of our kids sometimes is if they're having a hard time falling asleep, and now it's becoming more habitual than anything, but we have them take melatonin gummies. And so with those gummies, it just adds to the melatonin that your body hopefully produces. I know not everybody produces melatonin or at what would some might consider normal levels, but doing that has helped me fall asleep. And then of course if you need sleep aids or natural remedies, you should explore those. But having a plan and waking up on time is going to help with avoiding being alone and late at night. And honestly, like if you're watching movies or video games late at night, like that's fine, but to like consider that you're going to get anything done or productive later, that's not really, in my opinion, going to help. So you can consider that. So yeah, I think I talked about alone and stress. So that's another one to work through. So stress obviously isn't good. I read the other day, if you're a procrastinator, then you might be addicted to stress. I'm like, that's an interesting comment, because maybe I am just so overwhelmed that I get paralyzed and I just want to not do anything and instead just procrastinate. And so I'm addicted to stress. And so to me, it's like, okay, well, make a plan of how you're going to de-stress your life. What is the identifiable triggers? Physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, intimacy. Like what things are you doing? And I wouldn't rule out counseling in that situation, and I wouldn't rule out just needing a vacation. Sometimes we just need a break. And then, yeah, tired, the last letter in the acronym. Get enough sleep, but garbage in, garbage out. If you're tired and you're eating a bunch of junk food, that's going to be part of your problem. If you're tired but never exercising, that might be part of your problem. If you're tired and you don't have a good mattress, or a pillow, or a desk chair, you might need to invest in one of those. So yeah, make sure you're getting enough rest. Doing so is going to help. Like I sometimes get deliriously tired, and when that happens, I get headaches, I get nausea, and then of course you want to sometimes consciously and sometimes unconsciously just want to medicate to ease the pain. And so making sure you get enough rest, and when you're sick, don't push it. Take time off. Take sick time. Take your PTO and recuperate. And go easy on yourself. And even though you made all these great plans to get a second job and to be an entrepreneur and go serve others, sometimes you got to cancel plans. And when you're tired, you just got to take it easy on yourself and be okay with some downtime. And doing so is just gentler on yourself. So you guys can do it. This is how you stay sober. Think of the acronym B.L.A.S.T. Doing so is going to help you, help others, and you can teach others how to do it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.